Welcome to Sahara AS. In the last session, we have seen some concepts from the ratios, and in this session, we will be doing some simple questions on ratios. So, let me directly go to the first question. If the income of A and B is in the ratio 2:3 and that of B and C is 4:5, find the income of B if difference in the income of A and C is 1400. This question can be done in multiple ways. The one way of doing it is I can take A in terms of B, C in terms of B, and then I can add. It is like this: A by B is given to me as 2/3. Then again B by C is given to me as 4/5. Now I can write A is equal to 2/3B. Also I can write C is equal to 5/4B. Now difference between income of A and C is given. So A's income is 2/3B and C's income is 5/4B. So difference is C minus A is equal to 5/4B minus 2/3B. So this will be equal to, if I take the LCM here, it will be 12. So 5 3s are 15B minus here it will be 8B divided by 12. This value C and A difference is given to me as 1400. Now 1400 is equal to 7B divided by 12. Now I can cancel this 7 ones are and 7 200. If I multiply 12 to this side, I will get 12 into 200 is equal to B. So answer for this question will be 1400. So income of B is 1400. This is the fraction method of doing this problem, but we can directly merge the ratios and we can answer this question. So let's see how to do that. Suppose A is to B is given to me as 2:3, B is to C is given to me as 4:5. We have seen in the last session, we have seen multiple ways of merging the ratios in order to get A is to B is to C value. One such method was inverted N method. So in inverted N method, if I apply the inverted N method, I will get A is to B is to C value as 2 4s are 8, 4 3s are 12 and 3 5s are 15. So this is what A is to B is to C is. Now I can take A as A is 8x, B is 12x, C is 15x. If you observe, A is 8x and C is 15x. If I take the difference between C and A will be 7x. And this 7x value is given to me as 1400 in the question because the difference in the income of A and C is 1400. So 7x value is indirectly given to me as 1400. If I find the value of x, I will get it as 200. Now the question is asking regarding the income of B, and if we see the ratio, the income of B is 12, so I will consider it as 12x. So answer is 12 into 200, which is 2400. I think instead of going with the LCM method and in the fractional method taking the LCM and then simplifying it by forming the equation, we can directly use ratio method, merge the ratios, compare the ratios, and directly we can get the answer. So this is how we can implement merging or joining of the ratios concept to solve the questions. So let us see the next question. Why is it? Welcome to Sahara AS. In the last class, we have seen the concept related to ratios, and in this class we will be doing some simple problems on ratios. So directly we will go to the problems. First problem, if the income of A and B is in the ratio 2:3 and that of B and C is 4:5, find income of B if difference in the income of A and C is 1400 rupees. In this question, the ratio of A and B income is given and ratio of B and C income is given, and they are giving the difference between A's income and C's income. So there are two methods of doing this question. One, we can do it using the fractional method. We can express A in terms of B, then we can express C in terms of B, and finally we will get the equation for this difference of 1400 rupees and we can get the answer. Let's see how to do that. So it is given to me that A is to B is equal to 2:3. I can write this as A by B is equal to 2/3. Similarly, B is to C is given to me as 4:5. I can write this as B by C is equal to 4/5. Now, I can take A as 2/3B and I can take here C as 5/4B. Now, I have A in terms of B and C in terms of B. What I can do is I can directly take the difference of these two. So, C minus A is 5/4B minus 2/3B. Now, as the denominators are different, I need to take the LCM. The LCM will be 12. So, multiply by 12, multiply by 12. We will be getting 4 ones are 4 threes are, that is 15B minus 3 ones are 3 fours are 8B. So, 15B minus 8B divided by LCM 12 is the difference between the income of C and A. But difference between the income of C and A is already given to me in the question as 1400 rupees. So, I will write 1400 rupees. 1400 rupees now is equal to 15B minus 8B is equal to 7B divided by 12. However, I can cancel this 7 and 14. So, this will become 200. So, 200, if I take 12 to the other side, I will get 200 into 12 is equal to B. So, income of B according to this method, I am getting it as 2400 rupees. But if we observe, this is bit lengthy method. First, we need to form the equation. First, we need to represent A in terms of B. Then, we need to represent C in terms of B. Then, we need to form the equation, take the LCM, solve the equation. That will be bit lengthy. So, the other method of doing this is merging the ratios. As we have learned this in the last class, we can directly use the concept of merging ratios and we can solve this type of questions. For example, here A is to B is given to me as 2:3 and B is to C is given to me as 4:5. Now, if I merge the ratios, we have learnt multiple methods to merge the ratios. One of the easiest method is inverted N method. So, let us apply inverted N method here and try to find what is A is to B is to C. So, applying the inverted N method, 2 4s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 3 5s are 15. So, A is to B is to C is 8 is to 12 is to 15. Now, this is A is to B is to C. Now, if we compare in the ratios, A we can take it as 8x, B we can take it as 12x and C we can take it as 15x. Now, question is saying that difference between A's income and C's income is 1400 rupees. If we observe C's income is 15x and A's income is 8x, the difference is 7x. So, 7x value is given to me as 1400 in the question. If I cancel in 7 ones are table, I will be getting 1x value as 200 rupees. Now, the question is asking for the income of B and according to ratio, if we observe here, it is 12x. So, 12x value will be equal to 12 into 200, which is 2400. If we observe this in ratio method, by merging the ratios, we can directly compare A's and C's income. But without merging, we can't compare because B value is not same in both the ratios. If it was already same, then even without merging, I can directly compare, but now I can't do that. Hope till here it is clear. Coming to the next question. A person distributes his wealth among his 3 sons in the ratio 1/3:1/2:1/8. If the total wealth is worth 80,500 rupees, find the share of the son who gets the smallest share. Now, as we seen in the last class, we are not supposed to have the fractions in the ratios. But here the question itself is given in terms of fractions, that is, let's take the three sons as A, B and C. So A is to B is to C is given to me as 1 by 3 is to 1 by 2 is to 1 by 8. Now, as the fractions is given, comparing will be a bit difficult. So what I do, I will convert it into a normal ratio by multiplying throughout by the LCM. So what is the LCM of 3, 2 and 8? Is it 24? So is it 24? Yes, it is 24. So multiply throughout by 24 into 24 into 24. Here we will be getting 3 ones are 3 eights are, then 2 ones are 2 12s are, then 8 ones are 8 threes are. Now A is to B is to C, ratio of the wealth that A, B and C, three sons are getting is 8 is to 12 is to 3. If I observe here, the total income according to ratio, if I consider A's wealth as 8x, B's wealth as 12x and C's wealth as 3x, the total will be 23x. And according to question, the total worth was 80,500, which means 23x value is given to me as 80,500. However, 23 is a prime number. No doubt we need to cancel this directly in 23 ones are table. So x is equal to 22 3s is 69. 69 to 5 is 1 is the remainder. 11 is the remainder. So 5s are 00. So x value I am getting it as 3,500. Now the question is asking for the share who gets the son who gets the smallest share. If we observe in the ratio, the smallest share is 3x. So question is asking for 3x value. 3x value will be 3 into 3,500, which is 10,500 rupees. So this is how we can convert the ratios which is given in the fractions into the normal ratio, and directly I can compare the ratios. But we can do this even without converting it, but that will be a bit difficult. Like A's value is given to me as 1 by 2, B's value is given to me as A's value is given to me as 1 by 3, B's value is given to me as how much, 1 by 2, and C's value is given to me as 1 by 8. If I add everything, I should get, let's say, the total wealth is x. So 1 by 3x and 1 by 2x and 1 by 8x. Again taking the LCM, adding everything, total should be this one. Total value is given to me. Then we can proceed with this. But the better method to do this type of question is the ratio method. Coming to the next question. The ratio of income of A and B is in the ratio, or the ratio of income of A and B is 3:4, and their expenditure was in the ratio 2:3, and each saves 200 rupees. There are two methods of doing this. One method is the basic method. The relationship between income, expenditure and saving is income is equal to expenditure plus saving. So we know that here income ratio of A and B is given to me as 3:4, and expenditure ratio is given to me as 2:3. Now if I take this x variable here, I can take income of A as 3x, income of B as 4x. Similarly, if I take y variable here, I can take expenditure of A as 2y and expenditure of B can be taken as 3y. Now as we see here, income is equal to expenditure plus saving. I can say income minus expenditure will become saving. Now considering this, I can find the saving of A as income of A minus expenditure of A, and saving of B as income of B minus expenditure of B. Now income of A is 3x and expenditure of A is 2y. Then here income of B is 4x and expenditure of B is 3y. Now this is also equal to 200 and this is also equal to 200, because from the question both of them saves 200 rupees each. Now this is the case of two unknowns and two equations. So we can apply the concept of simultaneous equation and we can get the values here. As we see, the question is asking for income. We can solve for x and get the values of their income. So let me solve this. 3x minus 2y is equal to 200 and 4x minus 3y is equal to 200. As we don't want y here, let me make the coefficient of y as same. This 2 I will be multiplying to the second equation, and this 3 I will be multiplying it to the first equation. Now the equation becomes 9x minus 6y is equal to 600, and here the equation becomes 8x minus 6y is equal to 400. Now, okay. So if I subtract these two equations, like say changing the sign, and if I subtract this, I will get 9x minus 8x is equal to x. I can cancel this 6y and plus 6y and minus 6y is equal to 600 minus 400 will be equal to 200. Now I have x value. I can find income of A is equal to 3x, which is 3 into 200, that is 600, and income of B is 4x, which is 4 into 200, which is 800. So answer for this question is 600 and 800. This is how we will be doing these type of questions using the basic method. However, we can apply the basic this ratio method in order to get the answer. So let us see how to solve these type of questions using ratio method. Income of A is to B is given to me as 3 is to 4, and expenditure is given to me as 2 is to 3. If we observe the gap, this income and expenditure, if I take the difference, this difference will give me the saving. Here the difference is 1 unit, here also the difference is 1 unit. And question is saying both are saving 200 rupees, 200 rupees. But according to ratio, if I see here, both are saving 1 unit and 1 unit. So I can consider 1 unit value as 200 rupees. Now if 1 unit is 200 rupees, income of A I am having 3 units, and income of B I am having 4 units. So 3 units will become 3 into 200, which is 600, and income of B will become 4 units, which is 4 into 200, which is 800 rupees. But note that these type of short tricks can be applied only when the income and expenditure, that gap is same, and even in the question it should be given that the savings should be equal. If savings are not equal, then we should go with the basic method. We can't do it using the ratio method. Hope till here it is clear to everyone. So this will be the short trick for this question. See, here we have done nearly 10 steps. This can be reduced to 2 or 3 steps. And even we can avoid forming the equation and solving the equations. Next question. The price of gold is directly proportional to square of its weight. Okay. If gold slab is broken in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1, which results in loss of 4,620 rupees, find the initial price of gold slab. So the question is saying that there was a gold slab. Let me consider this as a gold slab. Now it is broken in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1. Let me consider 3 is to 2 is to 1. So it is broken in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1, and the question is saying that the price of the gold is directly proportional to square of its weight. Let's take the total weight of the slab was 6x units or 6x, or let me consider it as 6 units directly. 6 units. Then the first slab is weighing 3 units, second slab is weighing 2 units, and third slab is weighing 1 unit. Now one slab was there which weight was 6 units. Later it was broken in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1. So the smaller slab will be having the weight 3 units, 2 units and 1 units. Now if I consider this statement, that is the price is directly proportional to square of its weight. Square of 3 will be 9. So the value for this one, or the price for the first slab, first smaller slab, which is having 3 units of weight, will be 9 units and yes, this is 9 units. So this is the weight and this is the price. So 3 units will become 9 units. So now if the weight is 2 units, square of 2 units is 4. So it will become 4 units is the price. Similarly here if I will not take units here, I will take some x something like this, because I need to use a different variable. Now 1 unit will become 1 square is again 1 itself, so it is 1x. Now 6 square, this is before breaking, 6 units, so its price will be 36x. If we consider after breaking, if I add all the price, it is 9x plus 1x, 10x plus 14x. So it is 14x is the price, but initially its price was 36x. So if we consider the loss is 22x, and according to question, the loss is 4620. So we can consider this 22x value as 4620. If we take this and cancel in 22 table, we will get x value as 2s are, that is 44, 2 carry, then 1s are 0. So we are getting x value as 210. Now the question is asking for the initial price of this slab. Initial price in the sense, before breaking, what was its value? Before breaking, the weight was 6 units and the value was 36x. So just find the value of 36x, which is equal to 36 into 210. So this will get me the answer. So 21 into 6 is 126. So 6, 12 carry. Then 21 into 3 will be 63. 73 plus 2, 75. So the answer for this question is 7560. This is the initial value, and the final value, as we see here, is a loss of 4,620 rupees. So answer for this question will be 7,560 rupees. So this is how we can apply some basics concept of ratios to solve the problems without forming the equation, and to avoid solving the equations, we can apply the ratios concept. So this is all for this class. Thank you.